A holistic care center. The hospital plans are open in the spring. Mrs. Claude was a which elicited a good response. Howard Community Hospitals Foundation conducts an annual membership drive from November 3rd to December 30th. Memberships range from approximately $1,000 annual to $10. Wheat says he expected the foundation to collect about the same number of memberships this year as last 47 life at $1,000. 46 sustaining at $50 each, and 126 family at $25, and 206 annual at $10 each to date. However, these figures lag behind 15 life, 24 sustaining, 85 family, and 133 annual. I honestly am not optimistic enough to believe that the figure will be approaching last year's figures with the exception of life memberships, Reed said. Howard Community is in its 9th year of fundraising, and Reed said that it is getting near the end of this plateau that these would purchase life memberships about 3 or 4 years that the purchase life memberships over the years. Reed said that only internet from that.
The discount chain has an offer for you. The company's CEO issuing a statement just moments ago. He said the issue has been eliminated and that Target is working to increase.
Windfall, Indiana. You can't count on children for anything. Just when you commit that you've been sold on your ground by Madison Avenue Christmas commercials, they turn you on in the St. Lee. 6th grade students at Windfall Elementary School decided to forfeit their Christmas gift exchange this year and instead give canned goods to needy people. Jane Curley and Don Garner, 6th grade teachers, conducted a secret ballot in their class to see their students would be interested in helping the unfortunate instead of helping themselves. The students, Mrs. Kirtley said, voted unanimously and demanded a gift exchange that's less than insuring whatever. Say, kids have no been so enthusiastic, it's just great. With help from the Windfall Security for the Community Action Group, the children did canned goods and stuffed paper sack with cookies and food and donate money for the clothing for the needy children. We asked them to bring just what they could in the way of canned goods. Ms. Kirtley said some kids brought in 2 cans, some brought in a sack full. The 2 classes raised about $68 to give to sorority, which is in turn will be
monster sled in the outfield. I think you can see that.
Buying gloves and hats and other clothing for children's gift system. I did a little boy who was one head. 30 cents a buck. I'm not ours, but I think he might even be unless Billy comes and when he and said, Miss Kirtley, please take this and give it to a needy family. She said, it's probably the most money he deserved to have. Most of it.
33-14.
16 children were second apples, oranges, candy, and cookies for the senior citizen meal for set for December 21st from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Windfall Steakhouse. The food was doing by the Community Action Group. We asked the kids not to get the teachers anything for Christmas. Miss Kirtley said even generally the children's journey knows no bounds. When Kirtley and Connor put it in their respective classrooms this week. They were deluged with gifts on one little ghost that is what they were supposed to do, give to the others. Miss Kirtley related. The claimsmen have a motto. The greatest gift we can receive is the joy we receive from giving one and others. It's posted all over in the halls and it leaves quite an impression. Mrs. Kirtley said, giving up their gift exchange with a credit sacrifice and give it a present of one.
It's been almost a year since Celtics fans saw Rajon Rondo in game action. Could they be getting an early Christmas?
Indianapolis, a federal judge has ordered the Kokomo National Life Insurance Company and 2 other companies to stop selling securities, and after the Securities Exchange Commission filed a complaint saying that the companies were defrauding their customers. U.S. District Court Judge James Nolan's injunction was issued Friday. Kokomo National is already under the Indiana Department of Commerce control after the firms allegedly has sold $247 million in the policies in exchange for the small cash payments and a huge promissory note.
And X-rays for one-stop treatment.
The notes were backed by overbound and non-existent assets, the official said. The SEC also contended Kokomo National did not properly register the entities with the commission and failed to keep the proper records. The other defendants, Kokomo National President and Board Chairman William R. Bundy of West Lafayette, Consolidated American Industries, and to the principal shareholders. Ernesto Ansura of San Antonio, Texas, came in and Bennett Petroleum Company of the British West Indies and principal shareholder in it, Marion Charles Buchanan. Buchanan is a federal correctional institution in Texas, Canada, Texas, and a federal mail fraud conviction according to a complaint. Bundy and Kokomo National sold securities in the form of single premium annuity contracts, but Bundy did not explain that the securities were paid for by the promissory notes that overstated that the financial strength of Kokomo, the complaint said. The complaint said Bundy represented Kokomo's worth at $30 million when it was actually worth $3.3 million. Anyway, Buchanan and their 2 companies bought their securities with the promissory notes. They sold them of cash and property according to the complaint. David G. Blakely, manager of the liquidation office at the state insurance department, said that the inventories that the Kokomo National showed that the companies that sold $347 million worth of entities. Company records showed that only $6,008 in cash, 11 diamonds, and a property given a company as an interest in Ohio gas and oil leases. There. Peru, Indiana. A rural Peru man died of massive adrenaline injuries Friday night when he was thrown from his automobile after he was struck by a semi-tractor trailer truck 1.5 miles south of here. Judd L. Brower, 20. A Peru railroad route 4 was Down on the scene in the accident, according to Indiana State Police, Bauer was killed at 11:45 p.m. when his car westbound on Business US 31 pulled onto US 31 in the path of a northbound truck driven by Gregory Eckhoff, 27 of Beach Grove. Bauer was pronounced dead on the scene by Deputy Miami Coroner Tom Eddy. Eckhoff was not injured. In Indianapolis, Jones C. Gibbons, 36 of Indianapolis, has been sentenced to 8 years in prison for stabbing to death of Michael Ashford, 33 of Indianapolis. Gibbons was sentenced Friday by Judge Webster Brewer of Marin Superior Court. A jury found him of manslaughter guilty on December 2nd. The stabbing occurred April 21st during a fight between Gibbons and Ashford outside a Southside Country Club.
Who did you get this degree for? You got it for me.
This week's snowfall will undoubtedly bring out the first skiers and toboggans in the season to the most parts, and that means it's time for the Parks Department annual warning. If you cross country, ski, or go sledding at the parks and are injured, the city assumes no liability, or at any park, Superintendent Curtis Wright puts it a little more commonly, you do it at your own risk. Also, if you caught snowmobiling on city park property, you can be fined. Northwest Park is the most popular snowmobiling park, and the police watch said one extra is close. Ice skating is out for now because the ponds haven't been a chance to freeze thick enough. White said if skaters see red light or near the skating area, that means the ice isn't thick enough to support a human being.
Days away from shutting down.
Indiana motorists are getting an early Christmas present. Lower gasoline prices at Central Indiana service stations according to AAA and Hoosier Motor Club. The Automobile Club's Christmas survey of $1 to 176 service stations showed an average price of gasoline dropped to $1.03 cents a gallon to $0.387, almost a penny a gallon in the past month. Gas all dropped to more than 4 cents a gallon at a self-service pump. For all the Evergrades except diesel, the average price fell slightly under a penny a gallon. That's the first drop in the average gasoline prices since last June, when Hoosier Motors were paying $1.46 a gallon. Only about 25% of the stations poll will be open on Christmas Day. However, peddling of gasoline will be available at the stations of both in Metropolitan Indiana and in Metropolitan Indianapolis and small towns, according to the survey. According to full service prices, for the average regular $1.434, no lead $1.483, premium no lead $1.539, diesel $1.320, and gasol $1.447.
Use the Ted Williams Tunnel if you're downtown.
Average service prices are regular $1.264, no lead $1.32, premium no lead $1.447, diesel $1.266, and gasol $1.331. In Indianapolis, 40 salaried employees at General Motors, Detroit Diesel, Elassen Division Plant, and 19 at the Chile Division Plant in Indianapolis will be laid off starting December 31st. GM told salaried workers about the layoffs and some cutbacks in the fringe benefits on Friday. Vacation time will be cut in half, and workers will be paid more for medical benefits. In addition, 16 hourly workers at Allison were placed on the layoff, raising the number of hourly Allison workers laid off to 416. So workforce at the plant is 16,540 people, with 4,009 of them salaried employees. About 350 hourly workers are laid off, definitely in the Chevrolet plant.
They're not done by March 12th. That's the deadline day. Reporting live from Boston, I'm Pat Frost, WCBB.
Bloomington in Indiana. Indiana taxpayers are entitled to claim to $100 tax
Celebrate this holiday season.
credit gifts. Higher education spokesman for Indiana University says the credit is allowed on Indiana gross income tax order could be not equal to 50% of the contribution to colleges and universities in the state. The spokesman said the upper limit is $100 on a single return to $200 on a joint return. This credit is in addition to the tax savings available on federal returns today. Who are charitable donations.
Love hearing these great stories coming from these remarkable individuals who've been through so much.
Wedding bells and Christmas bells ringing in the new year.
South Bend, Indiana. A drug commonly used to treat arthritis reduced the incidence of intestinal cancer in laboratory animals by more than 90%, according to research studies at the University of Notre Dame. Most followed and Phyllis H. Lecker performed studies that showed the arthritis drug in methgain to have continuing promise in cancer research and animals at the Notre Dame's Lebanon laboratory. Paul and Mrs. Lecker stressed that there is currently no effective treatment for intestinal cancer in its humans. They have said that during the initial research with the drug, the incidence of animal tumors had reduced by 40%. However, by concentrating the drugs affected in just one tumor per animal instead of testing animals with as many as 14 tumors, the tumor reduction was more than 90% in comparison with the animals that were not treated by the arthritis drug. The high reduction rate also points to the benefits of early treatment before tumors are able to spread. Pollard said indomethacin may work as a tumor fighter because it prevents the production of prostaglandina, hormones produced by large amounts by tumor cells, he added. While stressing that the research has been confined to any animals, Pollard said any drug which demonstrates an anti-tumor effect in animals is potentially valid to the same purpose in men. The Notre Dame research shows that indomethacin interferes with the development of intestinal tumors induced by 4 chemical carcinogen agents known as DMH, MAM, DMN, OAC, and MNU, which polycystic significantly means that factor common to more than 1 tumor type into the intestinal importance of the endomorphicaine, he said. Polycystic is encouraged by the results of his research, but said the continuing experiments are designed to determine if the drug is effective in its on animals, which event stage tumor, then the anti-tumor effect will continue under long-term treatment, and if tumors will appear after treatment with endomorphicaine is discontinued. Indianapolis, federal authorities have asked that convicted Speedway bomber Bert C. Kimmelin be sentenced to 79 years in prison. It says Kimmelin planned to seduce and murder the chief prosecutor in his case. The alleged schemes were outlined in the request were presented by Friday to U.S. District Judge William E. Steckler. Steckler has been sentenced by December 30th. The federal prosecutor memorandum. The judge describes Kimmelin and the leader of a large and highly sophisticated narcotics smuggling ring and says that it's devoid of conscientious and immoral in the conduct. The document says Kimmelin gave written instructions to an unnamed person to seduce Chief Prosecutor Kennedy P. Foster and have a private investigator take photographs of them. Kimmelin, convicted of making and set off 8 bombs that exploded Speedway in September 1970, is always serving a 21-year sentence on conviction from an Bill Speedway bombing trial and for an international marijuana smuggling scheme in Texas. Memo did not explain why Kimmelin would have set the bombs. It says that a connection can be made relative to trafficking and controlled substance, but offers so no explanation. Federal authorities learned that the death threats during October and November 1979 from Kimmelin's cellmates at the Marion County Jail. The memorandum said that cellmates gave the information voluntarily to the agents of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. The exhibits are photocopies of sheets from a yellow legal pad on which Kimmelin alleged used cryptic markings to identify those he wanted murdered. The discredited official said. The memoir said that a phony alibi involving Kimmelin's arrest and conviction for smuggling marijuana by air from Mexico to Texas, according to the memo. Kimmelin once considered the telling authorities he was planning to transport supplies to Sandinista rebels fighting in Nicaragua.
Here we go, over the next 7 days.
In Muncie, Indiana, about 1,500 members of 25 Delaware County unions marched in a bidders' cold Saturday to show support for Muncie city workers who are members of the Teamsters Union. In October, Muncie Mayor Alan Wilson said he will no longer recognize Teamsters Local 135 as a bargaining agent for municipal workers after he received complaints from city workers about representation. The statewide local representatives, more than 250 city workers under the street representation and clerical departments in Muncie. Parade organizer Jerry Fortenberg told marchers from the mayor to go into commit economic genocide on the city workers they kept to the non-recognized states. Okay, now let's get on to the weather here. Right now, our current conditions at Indianapolis Airport got most of the skies got a temperature of about 13 degrees with a dew point about 5, the humidity 71%, barometer 30.32 inches, visibility of 7 miles. Okay, let's take a look at current conditions around the region. It is 14 degrees out in Lafayette, 13 out in Kokomo, 11 in Fort Wayne, 19 in Turbo, 30 in Evansville, 20 in Louisville, 26 in Lexington, 17 out in Covington, 20 in Cincinnati, 19 out in Dayton, 10 out in Lima, 11 in Fort Wayne, 15 out in Elkhart, South Bend, 17 in Chicago Midway, and 14 in Chicago O'Hare. Satellite forecast shows frontal conditions can be seen extended from the northern plain states to the western Gulf states. North is evident from New England to the Lake region, and mostly clear skies are over the southeast, and frontal clouds are visible from the northern Rockies to the coastal regions of the Pacific states. And weather-wise around the nation today, snow was scattered from northern New England and across the lake region. Rain fell from western Montana and across Utah into western Colorado, with rain freezing at higher elevations, changing to snow in the mountains, as rain fell from northern Texas to southern Louisiana and in the Pacific Northwest. So our forecast for central Indiana will go like this. Mostly sunny and cold, highs in the mid to upper teens, increased cloudiness and cold tonight, near steady temperatures. Monday, a good chance of freezing rain and sleet, highs in the upper 20s and low 30s. Extended outlook for Indiana, chance of snow in northern Indiana, rain in southern Indiana on Tuesday, and cloudy and cold on Wednesday and Thursday. Highs will be in the 30s and mid 40s on Tuesday, and in the mid 20s and mid 30s Wednesday and Thursday, and lows will be in the upper 20s and low 30s and Tuesday, and dropping in the upper teens and low 20s on Thursday. That's me for sports, and now that's me for the weather. And now on sports with Jim Barber. Take away, Jim. Okay, thank you. Okay, in the NFL, New York Jets stopped the Green Bay Packers 28-3 in a battle for the top seed in the NFL draft. It was Baltimore defeating New England 23-21, which means that the Patriots will get the #1 seed in the 1982 NFL draft. Chicago surprised the Denver Broncos 35-24. So the Oakland San Diego game, if San Diego could win that game, they'll be AFC West champions. Cincinnati edging out Atlanta 30-28. Houston over Pittsburgh 21-20. In the final
Championship type games and
regular season football game at the old Met Stadium in Wilmington, Minnesota, Kansas City defeating the Minnesota Vikings 10-6 as the Minnesota Vikings will move along with the Minnesota Twins to the Metrodome next season. Philadelphia thrashing the St. Louis Cardinals 38-0. San Francisco over New Orleans 21-17. Seattle over Cleveland 42-21. And a battle for the NFC Central game to start right here on TV8. Tampa Bay defeated Detroit 20-17, which means that Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the NFC Central champions for 1981. And Washington over Los Angeles 30-7. Major indoor soccer league scores: it was New York 9, Buffalo 4, Memphis 7, Phoenix 6.
Signed a one-year, $4 million.
NASL soccer scores: San
34 years old.
Jose 8, Edmonton 7.
Him to just 29 games last year.
College basketball scores: was Hardwick 33, Scranton 71, John Jay 75, City College 64, Providence 46, Maine 44, and with St. Vincent, Pennsylvania 57, Keene 51. In the South is Belmont 94, Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne 71, Midwest, Jamestown 81, North Montana 71. In the far west is San Diego 78, Illinois, Wesleyan 48. Women's basketball: CW Post 75, Harvard 51, Eastern Connecticut 64, Hunter 47, and Montclair State 75, Providence 54. UNLV 80, San Jose State 71 was Staten Island 59, John Jay 58 in overtime. Women's volleyball NCAA championship game with Southern California 3, UCLA 2 in consolation, San Diego State 3, Pacific University nothing.
Some twins from Brockton hit Broadway Sunday at noon.
Phoenix, Arizona, he was a Mr. Basketball at Purdue High School in Indiana, went on to become one of the most popular players in the history of the University of Kentucky, with a school with its richest in traditions in the college basketball. In the season, when an injury to Walt Davis gave him a chance to shine in the Phoenix Suns, Cal Macy made the most of the opportunity. Cal's a heady player who just keeps coming up with a great effort, said Phoenix coach John McLeod after the second year in guard. Scored a career high 29 points. The Suns beat the Portland Trail Blazers 117-110 last Thursday. 19 is a great passer, team player, and shooter. Really a quality player. Macy averaged about 8.1 points and 2 assists while playing 17.9 minutes per game. And as rookie got his big break when Darius fractured his left elbow in preseason game against San Diego on October 2013. Moved into the starting lineup and was averaged 16.2 points in a solid 37 minutes per game, sharing the backcourt with Dennis Johnson and Dudley Bradley. Phoenix style is a lot, everyone plays a lot of. You will get your chance, said Macy. It's just a matter of staying ready, so when you're called upon, you can perform. That, yes, on opening night, he scored 24 points against Portland, 3 more than he had in his highest scoring game. As rookie, he's been doing a job ever since, helping Phoenix to a 13-4 start despite the loss of Davis. How did the 6'3" Hoosier High School hotshot escape the watchful eye of Coach Bobby Knight of Indiana? Knight came out of high school Indiana, a bunch of guards: Quinn Buckner, Bob Wilkes, Jim Wiseman, and they had a son. Bob Buckner transferred to Duke, explained Macy. So he went to Purdue instead and averaged about 3.8 points per game in a freshman, but became unhappy with the program and decided to transfer to Kentucky, where he went out for a year and started for 3 years. And you could have been a better script he called. Our transfer came right in, and we won a national championship. Phoenix had the foresight to select Macy when the last pick to the opening round in the 1979 draft, even for a transfer student. He still has a year of college eligibility left. He played that year for Kentucky, earned an All-American honors, and the Suns welcomed him into the opening arms of fall season. He's extremely efficient. Suns coach McLeod said to Macy, he's solid, a little bit methodical, and a little bit unassuming in his play. Bracewell said he wins the offense, sets up, and makes the shot win. It's there. Went with the break and plays tough defense despite all of this. Despite all he's done in the first 6 weeks of the season, Macy knows that Davis plays his way back in the shape, and he'll have to relinquish the starting role. But he accepts that, saying, I'm just enjoying the time down and I'm hoping for the best. San Diego quarterback Jim McMahon and his teammates at Pass Happy Brigham Young University hope that they finally silence the skeptics. Survived with them at the Western Athletic Conference, and a week sister BYU made it 2 Holiday Bowl victories with a 38-36 victory over Washington State Friday night. We're sick and tired of hearing that stuff. However, a lot of people will shut up now, said McMahon, who shredded the best pass defense in the past 10 with a 27-43 effort for 3 touchdowns and 43 yards. We can't tired of people saying we can't play football in the BAC, said teammate Dan Plater, who with all the 35-yard McMahon striking that BYU's first half expulsion, leading 3-1-7 early into the third quarter. BYU wavered in a while in Washington State rally and hold on for its second victory in a row over one of the nation's top conferences. A year ago, McMahon's passing propelled BYU to an incredible 46-45 comeback victory over the 70 Methodist runner-up in the Southern West Conference. McMahon rewrote the NCAA.
Yes, especially for the IC
record broke by 755 all-time marks, and never added some Believers with his latest spectacle, but McMahon himself wasn't all that impressed. I was up all night. I don't know what were the balloons, but he had it when we didn't make the big plays we did. Victory gave 14 weight PY a trip to the WAC for the past 4 years at 11-2 record. Games that McMahon started, BY was 27-3 during the career. Washington State making its first bowl appearance in 51 years, finished 8-3-1. And that's what I'm seeing news on this Sunday evening, December 20th, 1981. I'm shooting on Ellen Sign.
Care available when you need it.
Now, in less time than you ever imagined.
Jim Barber said, "I'll give a good evening. We'll be back for the on-scene news at 11 o'clock. Coming next, be CBS Evening News with Bob Cheever. We'll see you at 11. Good night."
Installing drywall can take months.